Hey guys, Josh here. Sorry for the lack of content in the last few weeks. I've been quite busy with work. I was away from home and I couldn't make much videos, but I'm here now and I would like to catch up with everybody about what's been happening in the world of farming games in the last few days and weeks. So we've got pretty good news regarding the development of Lonefarm as well as Kokopa's Atlas. We got a release date for a cute little indie game called Village Monsters. And there's also a new Kickstarter campaign for a survival game that I'm very excited about, so let's start. The first news I would like to discuss today is regarding Lonefarm. So you might remember that in June of last year, I made a video where I played the demo for this upcoming farming game, and I was really excited about it. It all plays in first person, and I found it very immersive how you had to put the soil in your pots, and then plant the seed and water everything by hand. And there was no inventory system in this game, at least at the time, so you could only pick up one item or one tool at a time. And when I say it like this, it sounds very inconvenient, but actually the way that it was done felt quite realistic and immersive. And then you had to put your crops in some crates, and then you would load the crates in your truck and sell them to the shop. So you could drive your truck as well. And while the demo was very rudimentary, and a lot of things were missing, that game felt so promising and I was so looking forward to playing it more. Unfortunately, shortly after the demo came out, the solo developer of Lonefarm, Novemtails, announced that he had stopped working on the game, and while I can no longer find the original post explaining the reasons why, I think it has been deleted, but it was something along the lines of the game becoming too ambitious or straying away from his original idea. He then announced that he started working on a new game called Scent of Wood, an exploration and survival game that takes place in the forest, and that game looked pretty interesting as well. But everything changed because on January 1st, Novemtails announced that he had found a game designer to help him with Lonefarm, and that he would start working on the game again. So I'm not sure what will happen with Scent of Wood, but I'm happy to hear that the Lonefarm is coming, and in the next few weeks we should be learning more about the progress on the game, and we'll see if there will be any changes with the direction the game is taking. But overall, I think that's pretty good news. I have to say though, I am a bit concerned with the volatility of the project since it stopped so suddenly to be replaced by a new game, and now just as suddenly all of this got reversed. But now since the team got a bit bigger and we got a game designer on top of Novemtails, I think it might be a little bit better, so I'm hoping things get a bit more stable in the future, but I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on Lonefarm. Next, we've got some pretty good news about Kokopa's Atlas. So 2 weeks ago I mentioned in a video how Rafael Martin, the original creator of the game, had to unfortunately abandon the project due to health reasons, and that his publisher, HitSense, would be taking over. HitSense have now revealed the team who will be working on Kokopa's Atlas, and it's going to be Aidan, Sam, and Noah, these three lovely people from Esthetician Labs. This new team has experience working on a variety of other games, which I think for the most part were smaller projects in scale than Kokopa's Atlas, but knowing that they all have experience in game development, and that the team is now basically 3 times bigger than before, and each of the members also posted self-introductions on the Kickstarter page, and they all seem very passionate about game development, but also sandbox and survival games such as Animal Crossing or Minecraft. So I really think that this team is a great match for Kokopa's Atlas, and I'm super excited to hear more about the development of the game. So hopefully in the next weeks we should get some updates. Next, we've got a release date for a game that I don't think I have mentioned on this channel before, but that I have been following for a little while. So Village Monsters is developed by Josh Bossy. He's a solo developer, and the game is currently in early access. It's been in early access for a little while, and it's a game that takes place in a cozy but weird little town where everybody's a monster except you are the only human, and basically you have to befriend the monsters, help them, and you gotta save their little community from destruction. There are also activities that you would expect from these types of games, so there's fishing, training creatures, there's gardening, part-time jobs, events, and so much more. Graphically, I have to say it's not the best looking game, but it has been improved quite a lot since the beginning of early access, And knowing that the developer has been working on this game full-time for over 5 years, and that it's now getting a full release, so it's coming out of early access, you can tell that he's been putting a lot of love into this project, and I'm hopeful that the game mechanics and quirky characters will make up for the maybe simplistic art style, and in some way I think that the game will actually use this art style to its advantage, because it looks like there's some meta aspect to this game where you're actually inside a video game and it's filled with glitches, and you'll have to fix the world in some way. I'll put some videos so hopefully you can see it by yourself, but it looks very interesting. I think this gives an extra charm to the game, and yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing and reviewing this one once we get a little bit closer to the full release. And lastly, a Kickstarter campaign just started today for a game that I've been quite interested in called Above Snakes. It's a Wild West tile-based survival game where you have to gather resources, craft and survive, but as you progress in the game, you'll be able to expand your world by adding tiles. So I think it's an interesting idea, and it will add some strategy element to the game, as you'll have to pick wisely which tile you want depending on the resources that you need, but also each tile will have different attributes, and some can give bonuses to adjacent tiles. So I think there's really going to be some interesting strategy in this game. Furthermore, typically a lot of survival games give you access to a big open world right from the start. So starting with a small limited world that you will expand the more you play sounds like an interesting change, and I think it will also make for a pretty interesting progression system. There will also be a story and some side quests in this game, so you'll have to find specific tiles in order to progress. And also one more interesting thing is that the center tile will be your base, where you'll be able to have your crafting stations and everything. And if you die, the whole map will reset except the center tile, so you're gonna spawn back at your base and you'll have to start exploring again from scratch. But of course, you'll keep your base and your crafting stations and everything. And I think this will add some roguelite aspect to the game, and I can already tell it will be so addicting to try and build a better world and use better tiles every time and explore a bit further. The combat also seems very fun, fast-paced and challenging with different weapon types, so you're gonna be able to choose from bows, crossbows, rifles, revolvers and more. Each weapon type will have some strengths and weaknesses, and I know I will definitely die a lot in this game, but I'm looking forward to it. Also, the Kickstarter campaign seems to be doing quite well considering it just launched a few hours ago, and if you pledge over $40 US, you'll get access to the pre-alpha, which will start in March as soon as the campaign ends, and the full release is currently planned for early 2023 with console versions maybe if there's enough funding. Currently, this game is being developed by Toby, a solo developer from Germany currently living in the Netherlands, but he also worked with a few other people for music, writing, art and models, so he's not completely by himself. And also this game is being published by Critivo, who's publishing other games I talked about on this channel, such as Roots of Pacha, Farm Folks, Serene Fate, so I have high hopes for this project. But of course, as always with Kickstarter campaigns, I recommend you do your own research before backing any project. But what I've seen from the game so far seems quite promising. You can also find on YouTube some people playing the demo of this game, so you can tell it's actually a real legit project. And also the information is pretty transparent on the Kickstarter page, which I really appreciate. So personally, I will be looking forward to this game. Also, if you're a content creator, they also have a link on their campaign to request a key. So you can be sure that I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the game as soon as I can play it. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for today. 2022 is really having a great start in terms of farming games, and also I feel like indie games in general, because pretty much all the games I mentioned today were made by solo developers or like really small teams, and I feel like this is where we're heading for farming games. I feel like all the best games are indie games right now, so that's really exciting. So let me know which of these games are you looking forward to the most. Leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next video.